Well, in a divorce situation, if there are children involved and the parents can't agree to custody and visitation, what's now called parenting time, sometimes a judge will will appoint a person who will act as a guardian ad litem. The guardian ad litem is someone who is looking out for the child's best interest. It's not the child's lawyer, so it's not that the person must do what the child requests, as in that's not the person's client. They're looking out for the child's best interest. It's usually a lawyer or a social worker, but it doesn't have to be. But that's who usually is the guardian ad litem. And the guardian ad litem is there to do an investigation into you and your spouse or the other parent to decide issues on where the child is best suited to live and if there's any particular concerns for the child. So what happens is the guardian ad litem conducts an investigation, and that person talks to you, talks to the other parent, and wants to visit you in your homes. They're looking to see, are the homes suitable for the child? Are the child's needs being met in each of the homes? Is there one of the homes that is lacking? Is the child getting enough food? Is there any Are there any safety issues? Is the child able to thrive in that environment? So those are the types of things that the investigation starts with. So as I say, the guardian ad litem will certainly be talking to both parents, if possible, and they will also call upon what they call collateral sources as well. Typically, those collateral sources are your child's teachers, doctors, perhaps if there are any social workers involved, any DCF workers, if that's an issue in your case as well, and they'll be reviewing documents from the court, from the schools, and from the doctors, and so forth. So the guardian ad litem has a great deal of power in gathering information and gathering documents that are otherwise privileged because they are empowered by the court to do so. So the guardian ad litem will work with you and work with the other parent and will produce a written report for the court. Now the judge will read the report, and usually the judge gives a lot of weight to the guardian ad litem's report because it's a third party looking at it, and they've had a chance to do this investigation and meet with everybody and sort of be on the ground to see what the living situation is. So the best advice when dealing with a guardian ad litem and your interview in particular is treat the interview like a job interview. So dress appropriately, show up on time, uh, take the time to prepare a list who you think that guardian ad litem should talk to, who would be favorable to you, friends, family members, people at school or the child's activities and so forth, and bring any supporting documentation that you'd want the guardian ad litem to have. Obviously, be friendly, be forthcoming. As soon as you find out that there's a guardian ad litem that's been appointed, you should contact that person right away, set up an appointment right away, because you want to appear, you want to show that you're anxious, that you want to have a third party investigate and come up with a recommendation for the court if that's what the court's asking for, and that you don't have anything to hide. So you want to be very forthcoming. Um, as I say, the guardian ad litem's report carries a great deal of weight with the court, so you want to make the best impression as possible. If, however, that report is unfavorable to you, then you want to be able to attack the report, and there are some ways to do that. So sometimes the guardian ad litem is also called to testify as well. If the guardian ad litem is testifying, your attorney will have an opportunity to cross-examine that person, and you might want to. Might want to examine such things as whether the guardian ad litem spent enough time with both parties, whether there was any undue influence that was exerted by either of the parties or any of the collateral sources. Um, Did the guardian ad litem follow and address the issues that the court set out in the appointment of the guardian ad litem? So there's a lot of things that can be done in challenging a GAL's report, and that's something that your attorney would certainly look into. The guardian ad litem report is extremely important. As I say, the judge gives it a great deal of weight, and you want to make sure that you're on the right side of that report if you're seeking custody of your child or your children. So that's basically what a guardian ad litem's role is, how to deal with that person, and it's critically important that you make a good impression on that guardian ad litem. As I say, at Afford Law, we practice criminal and family law throughout Massachusetts. Our fees are all based on your income, so the less you make, the less you have to pay. We're trying to give voice in the courtroom to the hardworking people of Massachusetts. At Afford Law, we're making justice